Hi everyone! I'm Mandy. Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today, I want to show you how to make a special ingredient from scratch, fermented black beans, aka Douchi. It adds unique flavors to many dishes in Chinese cuisine, such as mapo tofu, stir-fried beef in black bean sauce, Cantonese dim sum ribs, etc. However, Douchi can be difficult to find outside of China, especially if you don't have Asian markets around. If you want to dive deep into Chinese cuisine, sometimes you gotta make things from scratch. So let's get started. First, we will talk about the beans because I want to show you two different kinds. I purchased the first one from Walmart. I believe these black beans are commonly used for making Hispanic bean soup. Their shape is a bit longer, kind of like a kidney. They are not good for fermenting because the texture becomes too tender after cooking, the grains will break open. The beans on the left side are purchased from an Asian market. You can see the shape is more round, like beads. Their texture is firmer, so the beans are able to keep the complete shape at the end. I am not saying that you cannot use regular black beans at all. It's just that the end result will not look pretty. If you don't care about the presentation, go ahead and use it. By the way, this recipe also works with soybeans. Fermented soybean is also popular in Chinese cuisine. I have made it and I will show you the result at the end of this video. Alright, once you have chose the correct beans, we're gonna soak it overnight with clean water, which I have done it yesterday. We're gonna start it from here. All the beans are rehydrated, drain them and rinse them with running water. Place a cheesecloth in the steamer and put the black beans on it. Turn the heat to medium and steam them for 40 minutes. Start counting the time after the water has come to a boil. By the way, I don't recommend using bamboo steamers because black beans stain. Once done, take the black beans out. Make sure to tap a few times so you can let the excess water to drain. You see the purple color on the cheesecloth? You don't want that on your bamboo steamer. Take the beans out. Transfer them into a tray. We're going to dehydrate them. I'm using a dehydrator. Set it at low temperature for 1 hour. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can put the beans under the ceiling fan and set the fan at the highest speed. Let it dry for about 2 hours. During this time, come back to stir it. The purpose is to evaporate the excess moisture. This is the consistency that you are looking for. There is no obvious moisture, but the beans should be damp and slightly tacky. Alright, let's transfer all the beans into a big mixing bowl. Add 1 gram of fermented black bean koji and mix thoroughly. Koji is a type of fungi that is carefully domesticated for fermenting purpose. I'll link this in the description. You can check it out if you don't know where to buy it. Next, we're going to find a proper container to allow the koji to grow. The inner basket will lift the beans, which allows air circulation. Place in a clean cheesecloth. Then put the black beans in and wrap well. Tuck it with something heavy. Cover it with a lid to retain the moisture. However, the lid should not be airtight because the koji needs oxygen while multiplying. We're going to leave this at room temperature for 2 to 3 days. Feel free to open it every 16 to 24 hours to take a look. Mine took 2 days and 10 hours. Let's open it. All the beans are covered by grayish white mycelium. That is perfect. Take the beans out of the basket. They are all stuck together into a big chunk. We're gonna crumble them carefully. Rub the grains gently with clean water and rinse well. Do this for a few minutes. Just want to be clear here, the mycelium is safe to eat, but it looks a bit unappetizing, so we're washing it off for better presentation. Inevitably, we will introduce too much water during the washing, so we will have to put the beans back into the dehydrator. Here is an important note. Let it dry at low temperature for 6 hours, which is 6 times longer compared to the first dehydration. We want the beans to be dry. Moisture will encourage the bad bacteria to grow. I have an example here. This batch, I only dehydrated for 2 hours, so the beans were dry, and this is what I end up with. It looks disgusting and smells horrible. It is not edible anymore. During the dehydration, you have to come back to stir them once every hour. 6 hours later, they are done dehydrating. This is what we're looking for. You can tell from the sound that the beans are pretty dry. Again, too wet will lead to a failure. Transfer all the beans into a mixing bowl. Now, we're gonna grab a bottle of high alcohol content liquor. This is not for you to drink. We're gonna drizzle it into the beans. In China, we usually use baijiu, which is a colorless liquor. However, I could not find it around where I live, so I'm using vodka. You could buy an expensive bottle, which will improve the taste of this recipe, but what's more important is the alcohol content. The higher, the better. Other liquors such as rum and whiskey will also work. Next, we're going to season it with 1.5 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder, and optionally 1.5 teaspoon of red chili powder. You can skip it if you don't eat spicy food. Mix thoroughly. Then put the black beans into a mason jar. Fill a shot glass with the same liquor. This is not for you either. Dig a small hole in the middle of the beans and carefully place the glass into the mason jar. Use a pair of chopsticks to carefully compact the beans around. Make sure the glass doesn't fall. Please choose the wide-mouthed mason jar so your hand can work around. The purpose of the liquor is that the alcohol will volatilize and fill up the top empty space in the jar, which creates a natural barrier to prevent the bad bacteria from growing. Cover the mason jar with a clean cheesecloth. Tie the cheesecloth with string or kitchen twine and place a bowl upside down to cover the jar. Do not seal the jar completely because the fermentation needs oxygen. Leave this jar at room temperature and let it ferment for at least 60 days or until all the liquor is evaporated, which you can simply see through the glass. I made this jar 2 months ago, so I can show you a comparison. Oh, as soon as you open the top, The aroma is so strong. It smells like a mixture of fermented beans, wine, and Easters. So good. I love it. All right, let's open it. I can't get enough of that smell. So good. The liquor is gone. Remove the shot glass. This is how it looks. Pour out all the beans. They should be very, very dry. You can try one. Don't be scared. The taste is salty, savory, and complex. It will add lots of umami flavor to your dishes. I used to snack on these when I was a little kid, secretly. I don't know why. Maybe it's something special about the fermentation that makes these beans so delicious. My mom will be mad though because it's so salty. She doesn't want me to take in so much sodium. But anyway, for cooking, you only use a little bit as a flavor enhancer. You're not supposed to use the whole thing, okay? Here is a playlist of all the dishes that you can try with these fermented black beans. So now, go dive deep into authentic Chinese cuisine. How to store fermented black beans. Just put them in a sealed jar. They will stay good for 6 months at room temperature and 24 months in the fridge. Last, let me show you another jar that I made with soybeans. It tastes almost the same, but just with a different color. So if you can't find black beans, definitely try it with soybeans. I hope this video is helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!